Doctor. Sale have had time to reset the defence, but here's Kelly.
Let go! Ball out.
Rafael. Nicky Smith. Ball's there. Sale hands on it, but they don't pick it up. Ollie Chesham has a look at the ball, has a look at the try line, back with the ball, gives it a go. Leicester within one meaty thrust of the lead again. Kelly, Pollard, Radwan to Hassell-Collins. Leicester with the advantage. Hassell-Collins! The roar of the season at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road.
Wow, Ollie Hassell-Collins, what a confidence player he is. George Ford, he's in a rich vein of form. This is Curry, doesn't hold on to it. They've just made that change. Maybe not expecting to have to throw it over the top to him. And then Radwan doesn't bite at the ball, knowing he's going to get taken. And it just opens up like the Red Sea. And Hassell-Collins uses his footwork. Brilliant acceleration. Darts through between the two defenders and finishes it off. What a game we've got on our hands now.
This is the area that Byron McGuigan was talking about. Should Leicester decide to run it, they're not going to do it this time.
It's been touched.
Roebuck, Carpenter, Reid to his left-hand side. Ford's not far away either. It is Reid, however. Marcy White tries to keep up. Curry, between his legs. Did a little hint of the forward about that, but we'll give him the flat. Quirk. And again Curry, and that has gone forwards with Stewart and Leicester with loose ball. Defence out of position momentarily, making the most of that. Pollard, his kick looking for Hassell-Collins. Brilliant from Hassell-Collins. Hit away. He's got a lot of shirts to beat. One of them is Ford. Stands him up, scores. Welford Road goes bonkers.
Well, Leicester take an opportunity when Sale spill a ball again. They've been a little bit sloppy second half, Sale, a lot of handling errors. But how about Pollard? Late decision, shapes his body, sticks it on a sixpence. And then Hassell-Collins uses the afterburners and then toys with George Ford. A little show, he knows he's got the gas. If he can just get them both stationary, he knows he's got the acceleration to get to the corner. So gets past the bigger man, powers through, and then just stops George Ford dead, and then goes again. Brilliant finish from Hassell-Collins.
Fraser Dingwall telling some old stories, and here come Bristol. That race for the top four, Saints not part of it anymore, but it feels like they could have a huge voice today.
A terrible time for Bristol to play them as well, because they'll want to build some momentum into that semi-final. They'll put out a strong side. They'll look to get some patterns going.
Leicester free kick. Van Portfleet beyond Pollard to Woodward. Oh, Hassell-Collins, brilliant. 1, 2, 3, bang.
Van Portfleet. He is coming into some of the best form we've seen him play. The speedy reaction to go quick, but then also the knowledge of the need to get wide early and that long miss pass. And just get it to the pace when you've got the man advantage. Misses out Pollard. Pollard does really well not to bite at it.
Tries good. Thanks, bro.
And Hassell-Collins just has to finish. Brilliant from Woodward as well.
In the nick of time, and again, Tigers are poised. Smith, banged over by Kloska. Again, the turnover. And Bristol want to play. Slipped away by Ibitoye. Lane. Lungs bursting. Not many people in the same postcode.
Oh, this is on to go wide, but he's gone to the boot. Freddie Stewart, full of lactic acid. He'll want to get this off the pitch, or at least his forwards will do. No.
It's a weary trudge beyond the 22, and he thumps it long. Now then, Ibitoye, plenty of space in front of him. Crackle of expectation around Ashton Gates. Oh dear, what's that all about? That's crazy. That's madness. And it's an absolute gift for Ollie Hassell-Collins. And a madcap succession of phases ends with a Tigers try under the posts. brilliance from Ibitoye at times.
I'm thinking of the Rich Lane example in the same field position. He puts boot to ball. Compared to that, now Bristol have to stay true to themselves and the way they play, and Ibitoye is probably one of the best counter-attackers in the league, but they're not numbers up in this situation at all, and it doesn't look like a good position to throw that pass. Look, I'm speaking from a position I could never do the skill Ibitoye can do, but that felt like an example where you could just...
Or you're scoring, and Ogre's got enough strength that on his own, committed.
The good thing about running that line is you can tend to pick the gap. You're sort of drifting across the field back towards the ball, but then you can straighten into a gap when you're on your own line.
And then Leicester get it back, and this is Catcher, and he pops it up. Hassell-Collins. 2 tries for a Bristol hooker, 2 tries for a Leicester winger.
Well, I mentioned at the top, they've struggled this season exiting and getting clear, which is why they've probably gone to the kick straight off the kick-off a few times this game already. They decided to play this one, and it's almost on. But this catch and pass has got to stick if you're going to just drop under each other and take high risks. And it's a gift for Leicester, and Hassell-Collins will take it any day, but it's high-risk offload. It's great defence from Leicester and good reaction from Henderson to keep it alive.
Up against Leinster, missed La Rochelle back today, and Leicester putting their backs into this scrum and earning the penalty. Kata, a little bit of space that was closed down by Luatua. Kata still going, such a big ball carrier, low centre of gravity, and then the pass is to release Stewart, halfway through, fully through goes Hassell-Collins. Well, it's been a start full of ambition from both, and Leicester with the first try.
Yeah, it's a smart start. They win the penalty at the scrum, and then Ben Young switches the side. He sees the threat of Kata early, but no one's on his inside. Luatua gets up from the scrum. He's slow to react, still involved in that pushing contest. That gives them the initial yardage, and they come back to this side. Ben Youngs holds onto it, which holds that guard defence in and around the breakdown. They preserve the space on the outside, and Hassell-Collins still takes some finishing. It's fair to say Hassell-Collins didn't quite hit his stride when he first joined Leicester from Irish, but boy, is he in try-scoring form now. Really enjoying.
I think he's exceptionally clever. If you saw there, just the little look up and assess rather than just relying on the power that he's obviously got. We saw just those fraction of a second decisions right at the last minute. He allies that with a good amount of power, a little bit of footwork as well. Doesn't commit fully to driving through when it's not on, which means he can retain his balance and stay on his feet longer than most.
Well, this might work for Hassell-Collins, and Hassell-Collins with the bouncing ball. And all of a sudden, the match that's burst to life. Couple of tries in a couple of minutes. First one for Sarries, and then Leicester responding in kind through Hassell-Collins.
Man, it's exactly what he does here. Sees the space, little kick through. Maybe you could say the kick wasn't bang on the money, but it causes chaos, and that's the effect the little kick has through. It just puts doubt in people's minds. You can catch a shin like it did, and you get a try off the back of it. Great play from Woodward.
Ability for Leicester to put a bit more of their game plan on here. You'd expect them to try and keep it a little bit tighter, and they're going to roll round.
Van Portfleet lifted up by Joseph Woodward. Hassell-Collins shimmies into the white-shirted defence. Chesham, not so much of a shimmy. Liebenberg. Woodward. Bustling, skillful introduction to his Premiership. Van Portfleet, Hayes, Pollard, Kelly. A little bit of room here for Hassell-Collins. A lot of work to do. He's done brilliantly. Oh, Hassell-Collins. Odds against when he took that ball. but he turned that situation into odds-on. Brilliant finishing from Ollie Hassell-Collins.
Momentum until this carry, and if you're playing against a team that's got so many bodies on their feet defensively, you have to dent the defensive line and make it narrower, and that creates the space on the outside. Eventually they get round. Ollie Hassell-Collins has so much to do, drops that shoulder, survives the first tackle from Hathaway, and then as Carreras comes across, he's already got a bit more momentum and he can use a little bit of his footwork. Gets inside him too easily though.
Which right now would not be good enough to secure a top spot just yet. They need a full 5-point win, but time to go. Oh, and then Van Portfleet with that sniping trademark run of his again. Saw it down at Ashton Gate last weekend. Just seen it here. Stewart, Radwan was almost itching for it. He had defenders to beat, but that is what Radwan does. Pollard, oh, and Hayes went backwards, flipped backwards by Montoya brilliantly, and then a charging Smith. Hassell-Collins, 1 step, 2 steps, and the try.
With a break from Van Portfleet. He's got time because the scrum's gone down.
Thoughts on that?
And just whether that goes forward, but if it doesn't, Montoya's little tap on, Nicky Smith holds patient, drags in Marcus Smith, uses the pace and the footwork
that for you, Woody. Just
of Hassell-Collins.
If I need a little more time.
All that test match experience. Oh, and 2 are given away, and Kelly goes through, stepping, tackled well by Capstick, who got back importantly. Here's Stewart, surely now for Leicester. This is Bassett. Brilliant Exeter defence to hold them up. The work defensively, the initial break from Kelly, but then Exeter shuffling back, initially through Capstick, still the threat. Exeter conceding the penalty.
They need to recycle some numbers, Leicester, in the back line if they want to go wide on the freebie.
Ollie Hassell-Collins furthest away on that left-hand side. Here's Rogerson. Kelly, who started it. Pollard, Stewart, Hassell-Collins. His 50th Premiership try, and one that swings this contest back towards Leicester.
Couple of hit-ups from the forwards, and then they hold defenders. Lovely transfer of the ball from Stewart, and it's a walk-in in the corner.
Still relishing these big stages, these big occasions. Through they go. Cracknell gets his arms free, and he's lifted it away to Rafael. Van Portfleet, quick ball here, it really would have been interesting. They've scurried back to the traffic. Van Portfleet again, now the width. Hassell-Collins darting back against the grain, infield and to within 5. Van Portfleet probing that short side once more. Kelly driven back in the challenge. Nick David, desperate stuff. Martin from close range. Now the heavy artillery assemble. Henderson waits. Quinn stray offside.
Got the freebie. They can use this now, Leicester.
Montoya lurking, feeds it back. Kata now holds it there. Pollard, some width, and now a score for Hassell-Collins. Well worked by Tigers. Patient stuff. First the heavies, and then the winger under the posts and back on terms.
He darts off his right foot twice to get infield, beats 2, 3. Really good from Hassell-Collins, and then appears in midfield. Lovely deception from Kelly. Pollard out the back. He's got Stewart on his shoulder, and because of Mike Brown's width, eventually they were going to find someone. Just need to muscle up.
Here comes that muscular attack again. Chesham tried to set them all up. It all crumbles to deck. Van Portfleet, there's the snipe. Paul Freeman shuts the door. Liebenberg stands guard. Will Hurd will back him up from the rear.
It doesn't seem like there's a clear tactic from Leicester which way they're going, left and right. They're picking the going. It's It's on their own sometimes, which goes back to your point, Pen. There's no clear line of communication of what the tactic is when they're in the 22.
Stay down.
It's the bludgeoning approach from Leicester. George Martin, one of the biggest of all. He makes good headway. Chesham. Still Falcons cling on. Van Poortvliet, now they move it. Woodward, Shilcock, Hassell-Collins, and he's careful how he puts this one down. No danger, that was spilling from the breadbasket. And Leicester have the first try of the day.
Castle defence, and when the call comes in, Woodward hovering in, releases the ball, and then Shilcock throws that longer pass. And Hassell-Collins makes sure he dives rather than just trying to put it down as he did last week. He's learnt his lesson.